Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad to be back with you today. Thank you for stopping in. This is Edna White, and this is Edna White Coaching. And I'm so glad that we have you and your attendance and your subscriptions and your likes. I just wanted to share with you today about forgiving and forgetting. We know, and we've always heard the old adage: we have to forgive. We have to forgive. We always have to, you know, completely forgive someone to be, I guess, complete, is it, as it were. But what is forgiveness and what is forgetting? How do we apply those two to our lives? Because it affects not only our lives in general, it affects our relationships. Affects our love life. It affects our business. All of those areas are kind of affected, and also, yeah, our finances and our health. So those things kind of are like the umbrella effect of if we are not involved with forgiving and forgetting. So we say that we forgive. Let's say we say that we forgive it, and some say it's the Christian thing to do. um, but what is forgiving? What is that? Is it not knowing what, not acknowledging what happened? Is it um this thing that we just must do? There's so many questions, and so many things around this phrase forgive and forget. And at some point, it's easier said than done. But what does it really mean to forget and forgive? Um, Does it mean you no longer have a built up resentment towards someone who hurt you? Does it mean you go on with your life without ever thinking about what happened again? Forgiving and forgetting can be very difficult to do. Ask a survivor. But understanding what it really means is the first step to accomplishing forgiveness and moving on. It feels like it can be extra tricky to forgive and forget. Guess what? It is. And guess what? It's okay, because we can possibly believe that forgetting and forgiving are the same thing. They're not. In most situations, it's easier to forgive, though either one is really a simple task, depending on the degree of the violation. It's easy to forgive, but to forgive and to forget means you finally now listen to the words, finally made peace with the offense that occurred and have allowed yourself to move on. Now, what it means to finally make peace with something doesn't mean it's today, doesn't mean yesterday. It means it's an ongoing process a place that you get to. To truly forgive means you understand the human condition and accept all the humans the way they are, and understand that they possess some infallibilities and with positives and negatives, and understand that who they are, that we're humans. Here's what I've learned. Forgiving and forgetting really means that I accept what has happened, I move forward, and I don't hold the dangling carrot of resentment over someone's head. Because guess who gets the resentment? They don't. Because if they were conscious of it, they wouldn't have done it. Um, so you end up with the resentment. To be able to forgive someone, it's helpful to understand the difference between forgiving and forgetting and how you can benefit. Now, I've heard phrases, and I know we all hear phrases like throw it in a sea of forgetfulness, do this and do that. I've heard those phrases, and I'm like, what does that even mean? Where is this sea that you forget everything? And the only thing I can think about is when someone's saying forgetting things, I think of amnesia, I think of dementia, I think of um, Alzheimer's. I don't want to have that. So when I say forget, I don't want to have that. I have that piece of it to forget because something else is going, you're going to forget something else because forgetting to us means that it's no longer there. That's never the truth. So we need to stop saying that, throw it in the sea of forgetfulness because it does not exist. It doesn't. If you know where this sea is, please tell me. If you know how to throw it somewhere and how to take it from here out of the rhythms of your mind and throw it there, good. Show us. Show show me. I want to know. But there is no sea of forgetfulness because I don't want to have the forgetfulness of dementia. I don't want to have the forgetfulness of Alzheimer's or amnesia. See, those things you don't want because you will lose other good things, the other good memories, should you choose that path and repeat that you're going to throw that in the sea of forgetfulness or you're going to forget it totally about it because you're not. The forgiveness aspect of this phrase signifies that you're willing to understand all the human's imperfection, meaning yours too, meaning yours. Having moments of selfishness that, yes, I deserve to have some peace. I deserve not to have had that happen to me. Sure. Even vindictiveness and sometimes, just sometimes, some cruelty. See, we want to project this great human in front of us. We want everyone to understand that this human in front of you have never had any of those things. And I can just tell you that's not a great way to live. It's just not. It's not. It's not true. It's not factual. It's not something you should be doing. To forget an entire story, really think about that. It's scary. In theory, the offense that happened is never fully forgotten. Emotionally, physically, economically, it does not get erased ever. However, we can give ourselves personal freedom to liberate ourselves from continual remembrance of the offense by choosing not to dwell on it, by choosing not to always, everything that we talk about is about that, or everything that we do is about that, everything that we post is about that, everything place that we go is about that. Refusing to embrace that, to be liberated and free. That's what I wanted for myself, to be free of that anger, to be free of that cruelness, to be free of thinking of this vindictiveness. What could I do to get them back? By choosing not to dwell on whatever, whoever, it is you trying to forgive and forget. You allowing yourself to fully move past it more easily. While the human part of us may prefer to withhold forgiveness and not forget the offense, whether it be because you're still hurting or you're not over it, or you just don't care to make amends, it can actually do more harm than good. Holding on to anger and resentment doesn't hurt the other person, it hurts us. See, the gift of forgiving is for you. It no longer chains you to that person. When I was chained to my perpetrator, I felt the chain every time I was around the person. I felt I heard the jingle, and I saw my emotions change. I saw my attitude change. I felt the gates go up. I felt it all. I became imprisoned by the pain and the anger of what was done to me. The same goes on for forgetting. Forgetting means to no longer torture ourselves by replaying the negative events in our lives. And we really let that go. We really want to let that go. You can't seem to find yourself forgiving and forgetting someone who has done you wrong. That's okay. Remember, I said that's okay. Don't forget that when you pressure yourself to take steps you're not ready for, you're not going to do them. And it's just that much harder to get a pace, to get progress. Everyone does things at their own pace. You will move forward regardless. Let me just tell you, regardless. Whether you want to make changes or not, you will move forward. Whether you stay in somewhere longer than you need to, you still will move forward. Things change, and you will face a new normal each time. It may take time, and you may be cautious, but be gentle with yourself. Try not to obsess over the details of how it's structured, how the process goes. Think positive and keep going forward, keep moving. When you begin to think of the personal benefits that come from forgiving and forgetting, the phrase takes much more of an empowering meaning for you. And I'm going to say amen to that because I know that to be very true, that forgiving and forgetting is a total experience for yourself. And understanding, not repeating old phrases, not repeating, religious epithets, none of that, but to really understand it for yourself. Take that and educate yourself. It's like adorning yourself with a new cloak of armor, and the armor is all about love. I'm going to say amen because I don't want to keep talking about this, but forgive and forget. Truly, truly forgive and forget. This is Edna White signing off. See you next time.